What's up, everyone? This is a stock market daily analysis. What a day. Got a lot of interesting things to talk about here today. First things first, let's take a look at what's going on in our Apple. Apple had a major announcement after the market, and look at this. We ended the day at 157.92, gapping down 146.10. Major announcement, and so this is going to have massive impacts, continue to have massive impacts on the market. Let's take a look at our Qs. After hours, our Qs are down to 151, so we are losing definite gains that we had gotten over the past couple of days in some of our major indices. Okay, so let's take a look at these futures. Futures are down across the board. So we've got only thing that's up right now is gold, and our VIX is up pretty high right now. Up 3% in the VIX. Everything else is down. Of course, your NASDAQ futures are down the most due to Apple kind of getting this major hit right here. So Apple is taking the brunt of what's going on here. Again, we're continuing to see a little bit of what looks like a sell-off. So let's get right into our charts here. Charts are kind of irrelevant right now due to what we're seeing in Apple. We did open the day down at 245. Over the course of the day, we saw some pretty significant strength. This would actually, had we not seen this Apple announcement kind of dragging down the markets right here, this would have given me a little bit of a bullish a short term. Of course, we still have the trend lines that are impacting kind of long-term thoughts, as well as the death cross here. However, it would have given me a little bit more reason to think that we might end in this type of area over the next, or at least go into this type of area over the next couple of days. Unfortunately, what we're seeing is we are very likely going to see a gap down. So definitely need to think about that as we're looking in the SPY. But the day itself was a pretty strong day. Same things here in the Qs. This is the 1 minute. Let me change to our daily. Same thing here in the Qs. Very similar chart. Pretty strong over the course of the day, except now we are right at the beginning, and so really we're not seeing any major gain from the bottom, and in fact, we're probably challenging the bottom. Let's take a look at our Qs right now. 151.68, so not quite where we were. This is what it looks like in this area. So we're looking to open in this little area tomorrow if we don't see any additional movement. Okay, but again, same thing with the spiders. We're seeing this right here. Death cross. We've got some levels of resistance coming our way into the diamonds. Again, very similar chart. Gap down, really nice strength here on the first trading day of 2019. We go into our Russell 2000 ETF. Back it up a little bit. Same thing, a little bit different here. It's worth noting on this particular chart that we are trying to go above some of this level of resistance that we've seen. So you'll notice that none of these candles are below, right? None of those candles are really above. Above this little area, and we closed above the 9 SMA. I wonder if the IWM are also gapping down after hours. We are clearly not as much as in our Qs or in our spiders, simply because Apple doesn't necessarily impact, right? Apple's not necessarily going to impact the small caps as much, unless you're looking at something like LQMT. I could see LQMT, liquid metal, gapping down tomorrow. Only 500,000. For a long time, there was a relationship between LQMT, Liquid Metal Technologies, and Apple. Thinking about Apple going to liquid metal for their products. All right, let's get back to these charts. Taking a look at the VIX. The VIX is going to gap up tomorrow because we're seeing such a massive gap down. However, really kind of the day just kind of got destroyed here. Real bearish engulfing. But, of course, we're going to see this gap up a little bit tomorrow as long as the current trend with the market gapping down continues to hold. Let's actually get into the VIX. The VIX, as you can see here, closed near the low of the day. Finally, 10% move. It's felt really, really slow, but we have seen about a 10% move since the top a couple of days ago. Yeah, we're seeing VIX up just a little bit, not a ton. I guess we also need to begin looking at VIX B. Interesting. So VIX B, I'll have to look into why this isn't necessarily trading. VIX 45.75, VIX B. I'll have to take a look and see why this is acting the way it is, and maybe why this isn't trading right now. I wonder if we are option statistics. We certainly got some more puts. We're not seeing nowhere near as much liquidity. Yeah, I mean, 159,000 options sold on the VIX, even though the VIX is expiring. Right? We're not going past this, which is why I'm moving everything that I'm doing over to VIX B beginning very, very shortly. Okay. All right, more charts. Let's take a look. EWZ had a major day, which is somewhat frustrating because I was neutral here in EWZ. What I saw was that we had a presidential candidate just announced that he was going to run, I think a senator or some political equivalent over in Brazil. And so we saw just a huge day from I actually opened a neutral position here that just for expiration ending this week, and it just got destroyed. That shows, what is this, open at 38.95, we close almost all the way up at 40.75. So major day. Certainly the Bulls have the advantage here. FXE down, got to take a neutral trade off at the 109 strike here in FXE earlier today, which was nice. With this gap down, happened almost right at the open. GDX, TLT, gold, interesting divergence. Again, this entire divergence between the miners and gold itself, looking like we might see a reversal here. Not quite sure what's going to happen here, but might look for this line to finally get taken out. EFA, with this gap down, I wonder if we are looking at, EFA will likely gap down a little bit as well in the morning, simply because, it's a worldwide market indicator, and you can see what their holdings are, and so that's certainly something worth looking at. Another major down day with IYR, gap down, so we ended previous session on the 31st. They're almost at 75. We got down all the way within the first hour of trading to 73. So lost $2. End of the day minus 162. Looks like bears still have the advantage, especially continuing to close beneath that 9 exponential or 13 simple moving average. OIH up 2%. Oil had another big day as well. So let's take a look here at oil. There for a while, oil was 10.10, which is pretty significant up off of the low back here at just under $9. And so we've seen a pretty significant move here in oil. See if there's any follow through. Again, taking a look at our Brent futures, we're down just a little bit, 0.2 percentage point, not a ton. I'm hoping that we continue to see, though, you can see this move, right? We're starting to get some, let's just bring this all the way back up. We're starting to see some level of separation between our simple moving average lines. And we are above the 50, above the 30, above this 13. So I'd really like to see us challenge this 10-10 area and then move up towards our 200 hourly simple moving average. That would show me that we are out of this downward trend. Of course, there's a bunch of geopolitical stuff going on in oil, which makes it somewhat difficult to really be able to Now, what's going to happen with that? XLE, XOP, both derivatives that are related but not solely dependent upon oil, but they did do their thing. XLV, this looks like an exhaustion play coming shortly. I might look, let's just see here. Let's go to SLV. I'm curious if there are any good trading opportunities here in SLV in the options. Yeah, there looks like there could be some decent. Let's take a look. Wow, fascinating. Almost 7-1, so 80% of our options were calls, which is fascinating. Real fascinating, actually. So we certainly will want to take a look at that if we're thinking about any type of trades. It doesn't always pay to be a contrarian, right? Let's go to some stocks of interest. Let's see if we can't get some Apple here. Apple is so far down off of their high, right? Here's their high. And wow, just really looking at got a death cross. And then if we go to the 1 day, 1 minute, let's see if we can't get some after hours. Doesn't look like we've got any after hours. I'd have to adjust the chart here, but there we are. Anything else? We had Facebook up. I'm going to assume that Facebook is probably gapping down a little. Yeah, it's going to follow. That's why you're going to see your FANG stocks really kind of follow suit. Interesting. MSFT also gapping down a little. I got to think it's because of its relationship, right, with Apple. I think it's in that same industry. So I do think that it's likely part of it there. Okay, we're at about 10 minutes here, 12 minutes here on this review day. I think we did try to put in at least a temporary and tradable bottom. At least for me personally, when I'm looking at this, it looks nice. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with tomorrow's gap down. All right, let's take a look again at our futures. Same thing happening here. Our Qs are gapping the most down. We've got our minis, our S&P minis down almost a percentage. Russell, Dow Jones, all down. Brent oil, crude is down, gold's up. Volatility is up. Let's take a look at our... Wow, so our financials, interestingly, IV percentile spiked in our financials today. Certainly worth taking a look at here. Gapping down a little bit last versus our bid and ask. And then we still see continued high levels of implied volatility, except for our actual volatility products there. IV percentiles are down. EWZ lost a lot of volatility today because of its massive move up. And then we're really interesting that UNG isn't higher due to the really awful chart that we've seen there if you're long. Awesome chart if you're short. Other than that, this is kind of where we're at, what we're looking at, kind of moving forward into the second trading day, the 3rd of January. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at Ryan at Sell That Option. That's RYAN at Sell That Option. Really looking forward to 2019. Got a lot of awesome things planned. Already hitting the ground running. If you're interested in selling primarily neutral spreads with me as you hear the pitter-patter of my dog coming into my office, feel free to reach out. I am looking to really grow Sell That Option this year. Fantastic education, fantastic trade alerts. At a price you can't beat anywhere else. If you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel where I'm sending one of these out every single day. Like this video, share this video. And I'm really looking forward to trading with you on the inside here at sellthatoption.com. Let's have a great day tomorrow, y'all.